ready to play?
So we're gonna do something a little different because talking to a friend, shout outs Don Pedro, who has been putting some work together and doing retrospectives on YouTube and stuff like that, and was like, hey, hey, do you have any advice? So I feel like I'm kind of stuck on ranked right now. And I was looking at it and I was like, oh yeah, I was like, oh, who do you play? And he's like, oh, I took a look at the profile and I was like, oh, he plays Cammy and stuff. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I was like, oh, well, Reggie, you played a bit of Cammy.
Played a little bit.
And in fact, we wanted to have a friend on who could, who also plays Cammy, one Chi Rithi, you know, but unfortunately unable to make it. But we're like, oh, well, why don't we check some footage out? Let's watch the matches. And I mean, we're not contenders, but I think if we are looking, if you're looking and you're a bit stuck somewhere in the lower ranks and are trying to figure out how to make it out, like, I think we can give some sound advice on that. So why don't we take a look at some footage and see if we can find some advice or something useful to help?
Sure.
And
it's easy to help a friend.
Yeah. And to that note, I was like, we can do that for people. So it's like, if you want us to like watch some footage and see if we can give you some tips or something, I think we can definitely do that. And if you're perhaps you're one of the people that I was talking to yesterday on stream who was like, I don't want to do homework. Well then, okay, we'll do the homework for you. we'll do it for you. You can let me know, right? Just, I don't know, hit me up on Twitter or something and just be like, yo, I'd like to have you guys check my matches out and stuff, and maybe just give me your tag on CFN and we'll take a look. And from time to time when we do get into fighting games, we can look at some people's replays and see how they're going, and you know, see if there's anything we can identify that, like, if you know particularly what you're struggling with, or if you have an idea of, like, you know, maybe something we can help with, I think that might be useful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I again want to put a caveat and an asterisk out on the integrity of the information and the veracity of our knowledge and strength compared to wherever you are respective in your skill. And I say this, you're hearing me with my fucking inferiority complex coming out over the course. Reggie's so sick of it. You're sick of hearing about this. And I know you are, because I'm sick of it too. But like, ever since way back in the day when it was just like, why is this dude even showing up on these Event Hub stories? Who the fuck is this influencer? I'm like, yeah, I don't know why either. I get it. I'm not that great, but I can help out some people who want some help.
Yes,
maybe.
That's fair, and I think it's very possible to do so.
Yeah.
Like, if people are coming to me like, hey, like, can you teach me how to play Chun-Li? I'm like, yes, I can, and
so
unequivocally, like, I can.
No, the main thing I actually want to get at is, like, I don't want to be like, oh, you need an answer for A, you should do B. And then it's like, little did they know B was the worst thing they could do. Yeah,
no. When you do that, it's good to, like, if you can give an advice, you should know what is the counter to the advice as well. Mm-hmm. And that's a good way to, like, protect your information.
Oh, you're using Dudley? Just use Thunderbolt more often. Nobody will see it coming. It'll land every time. You'll ride all the way up to fucking Grandmaster. How strong is he? 1 kudos. New challenger.
That's my rank.
What a scrub.
I know.
Incredible. Look at that.
That's how much I care about ranks.
It's almost like he's got something to prove. Mr. Wait, I play at locals only.
Are you saying that unironically? I like to play with my people.
No, but I definitely there's a ton of people from the communities we know that just that are like fucking god tier players that are just like haven't touched ranked as for a single second, and like, yeah, that's the old school mentality. It'd be how it is. But
I have to play it because it's good to learn the matchups and everything.
We come from a time when if you're like, I don't even bother with the online shit, I just play strong players in person. And that was legit for a very long time, and that's how you were, you know, that's how you get to be good back in the day. But for every person like that, there's a Hayate or a Flux Waves that is like, I play nonstop online.
Yeah, and it's good.
I have so much experience playing every kind of match. I'm in a bracket every single day.
I'm always hot.
So you can keep your fucking offlines to the limits that they get you, which is always been, to be honest, a Montreal problem, where it's like we have strength amongst ourselves, but then how much traveling is done, because American scenes get to have hundreds of people coming through.
Yeah, and it's easy to travel through the country.
Of course it is. And with that number and that traveling, you get much more matchup experience that we don't get.
Absolutely.
So people can get washed by shit that no one knows about really easily, even if you're in a small community that is leveling up. You know what I mean?
To be fair, it's only because I haven't been playing the game that I'm not on ranked yet. You know, like I played SF4 and SF5 ranked. That's the only games that I did ranked.
Well, you're a master in my heart, Reggie.
Oh, thank you. Well, definitely, because I see some of these masters online, and I'm like, word? They're just handing out MasterCards to everyone. Like, holy moly. Like, anyway, it's true. It's true. Master in this game is like platinum in Street Fighter V, maybe?
Perhaps, if the Grandmaster isn't as much of a thing.
Yeah.
And I was able to steal some points off of Master, but yet I'm not there yet. So, you know, well, I got to figure that out.
It's a grind, right?
You got to do what you got to do. All right. So, yeah, Don Pedro X, how you doing? So, yeah, we're just going to watch some tape of our buddy Don Pedro X over here and see what's going on. I mean, looks like a win's a win.
All right, so first of all, this color is not the best cat. All right, let's see how it goes. I need half a round of information. Okay, I like how you're taking your time. All right, now when would it break? Well, that's the question.
He's walking himself to the corner. Went for a DI there. You just parried it. You're being patient as well. You're giving him a ton of space. Oh!
I got a parry. Whoa! Alright, got a combo off of this. Nice, baiting the DP.
Ah, a little early.
A bit too early. Nice anti-air.
There you go.
In the corner.
Yeah. Okay.
Right, that was not bad. I'd be down to go into the second one.
I would absolutely be down. Let's gather some data.
I like how you were patient at the beginning and you were just like observing your opponent. Try to see how they react and break that flow. You were able to push them into the corner and then...
Sorry. Yeah, okay. No, I wasn't sure if we were going to watch another and then start talking about it, or if you just want to talk about what we just watched.
Yeah, I was just talking over like the stuff.
Yeah.
You don't need to like stop it, but like, yeah, sure.
Oh, excuse me. Okay. I based on that, I would say as well, yeah, that the patience up front when you're trying to figure out what your opponent's about, what their pace is, how are they going to play, it's good to have. You want to kind of stop and wait and observe for a little bit there. When they're walking themselves to the corner, though, it's definitely good to like walk yourself, take advantage of the fact that they're backing up, right? It's almost like there's life to be lost by them cornering themselves, even though you haven't seen the damage yet. Yeah. Because the more they walk back, the more fucked they are. So like if he's kind of walking back like that, it's probably because that player is afraid of you or afraid of like what you could do, or just afraid of your character, or just not confident in them walking forward, right? So take advantage of that and just continue to observe, but like definitely hold that ground, you know? That's a good habit to have. Something that'll happen a lot is people will make mistakes and create a big opportunity for you to punish, and it's always like, this is where the whole round can turn around when you block a Shoryuken. But like, if you hit it a little too early, you don't get the full combo.
Right.
So spending all day in training mode just practicing combos is not an effective way to use your time. But something that I definitely think it's worth doing is like get down like the timing of when they land after a Shoryuken, and like just either do the combo that you know best at that point. Even if you don't feel like you're like fully ready for it, even just a throw as a punish counter is gonna do extra damage, right? So if you're like a little too overwhelmed in that moment as well, it's okay to even do that, or even landing a drive impact, because you're taking away drive from them in that situation. So there's these opportunities where someone does a big Hail Mary of a DP and you block it. Those are the moments that turn the whole round around. So like if you can, you know, make sure, like if you can go back in and like be like, okay, here's something to like make sure you get on top of, that's a really good place to start.
I would try in training mode if you're not used to it, because some Shoryukens are hard to punish with drive impact.
DJ's is weird. It goes behind you and he lands behind you.
So sometimes it might be tricky. I know like Ken's EX Shoryuken.
Yeah.
If you try to like do the DI, you might go under it, and if you do it too slow, he might block it.
Sometimes flash kick, depending on how close you are to him, will also like land weirdly, you know? So everyone has that big like, I'm gonna do it, fuck off, get off of me move. And once you block it, it's usually an opportunity to really just take the whole round back. But it doesn't have to be fancy. But the one thing to do is just make sure you get the timing of when their feet touch the ground. You know, even if the combo you do isn't big or whatever, you just want to be able to capitalize right there.
What I want to say earlier is like when you're doing you're being patient and observing your opponent. At some point, one of you will try to like initiate or make something happen. And at this point, it's good to like observe what your opponent does, because there's a lot of people that don't have a ground game, but they'll stay in the away from you and they'll go left, right, and you're like, oh, I guess they're playing patient and neutral. But once you realize that they're taking an option, it's jump or dash or something committal. So if you see that they're not playing the ground game, then you can wait for their jumps and punish them, keep pushing them into the corner, and they're going to do something dumb, and then you can capitalize on that. Once they show that they have an actual ground game, then you can play the ground game. But if they jump and they do crazy stuff, let them do things, and then you should be coming out on top. At this point, you have to capitalize on those opportunities when they approach. And the more that you back them into the corner, the more they will want to take a decision. And then it will like expose the fact that they have no ground game at this point.
So I would even extrapolate that and simplify it to like them not having any kind of aspect of their game is something you can test for, right? So if I jump at a Ryu and I see no Shoryuken, and then I continue to play, and then I do another one, and I see no Shoryuken, I'm going to go, oh, he probably doesn't have his anti-airs ready. And I'm not that scared to continue to abuse that, because if you're not ready for it, then as long as I know that about you, that's a weakness, right? Similarly, on the opposite side, when I fought a DJ who checked every single one of my times I left the ground, I was like, oh, you're doing nothing but looking for the anti-air, which means you're not as focused on the ground game. You know, so like you can read one thing about their habits and know where their mind is going. It's getting a little bit heady with that overall view, but the main thing is like you can use the information that you're taking to decide like, I can probably pull this off because they didn't show that they had an answer ready, you know? Cammy's really good with her buttons. Her buttons are very fast. She's got a lot of them she can use, and she can bully you by drive rushing in and using them.
This is going to be interesting to see what Don Pedro does here. So DJ, he can zone, and he can change his space and go in on you when he wants to.
He's holding it back. Not charging his anti-air, necessarily, so he's willing to walk back and forward a little bit, but he's just spacing it.
And that's your option against fireballs. Now DJ is slowing down a bit.
Walking himself to the corner.
Whoa, baby.
And you're forcing him back, yeah.
That's good.
Really good.
Now what's he gonna do?
There you go.
He's in the corner.
He put himself in the corner for no reason, and
he's being patient, still in the corner. He's happy. There's the jump. But it took a long time to come. I understand if you weren't ready for that one.
You hit with the tip of that, so that was all right. But the burnout, the burnout is always something you want to be wary of. Burnout sucks.
Now DJ, like, because he has that feint,
yeah,
that's what makes it tricky to go through his projectiles. Because if he does a feint and you do your anti-projectile move, then he might just be baiting you.
He didn't come after you when you were in burnout, though, so that's good. You got it back by just being patient.
Okay, we got that pressure.
You're putting some pressure on. All right.
So close. Whoa, anti-air DI.
Okay.
That's very scary.
Yep, definitely have some notes
back there.
Have some notes about that. All right. Patience. Both
Nice
characters.
anti-air, but
I feel like both players have fought strong versions of their opponent, so they know what to be afraid of, and they're kind of like locking their aggression down.
Very close. 4 seconds left.
Another long round.
Oh, you had to do something. Timer came into play very late there.
They're both cautious about what the other can do. A lot of distance here.
I like the pace. Okay.
Oh. Okay.
Whoa! And there's a danger there with the DI. The opponent can DI back. Oh!
Punish counter. That's damage. That's, it's not the fanciest, but that's real damage.
Holy moly.
And...
onto the wall.
Yeah.
Oh, be careful with those sweeps there.
Level 3? Not even.
Now, risk-reward wise, that sweep was very dangerous. If you have scored just a knockdown, otherwise you're getting punished on block, you're getting DI, there's a lot of bad things that can happen.
So right off the bat, another thing about the when you throw somebody after, like when he threw you after blocking the cannon spike there, like you also do drive damage to your opponent when they get punish countered, right? So like I said, even if it's not fancy, you're doing some drive damage and you're hurting them. It's a very decent option to take until you get more confident with your timing. The patience is good. There usually is a moment where you wait for the break, so to speak, right?
Wait for the
break.
Yeah.
Right? And Cammy is really good at like drive rushing in and then just staying offensive and overwhelming you, right? And I think that is something that would really help you out, is kind of like just drive rushing in. It sounds a little YOLO to say, to just be like, just do it. But like, it's one of her strengths, right?
I feel like Don Pedro is using drive impact a bit too much there.
It's very risky, and it's also it's not as risky in gold and below, right? So when you're coming up through iron, bronze, silver, gold, you can throw out drive impacts for a lot of things, and at worst they will block it and you just keep fighting. Sometimes they'll jump over it and you'll be unlucky because you just rolled the dice while they were in the air. But I guess once you hit this point, you want to be a bit more conservative about how you use it. If we look at most of the DIs that you did in the last 2 games, for example, fewer of them landed than the ones that didn't.
Yeah.
And in some cases,
DIs there, it seems.
Yeah, and in some cases you do it, you end up like, if they jump over you as you're heading towards the corner, then it's a really bad situation, right? So I find that DI drive impacts are best used when you hide them behind a couple buttons in, like, if we're talking about, again, like approaching platinum, and then again some of the levels around this area, and not so many so often, right? Because they also cost you drive meter as well. So the payoff is great when it lands, but you're losing a quarter of your health or more when it doesn't. So if you're fighting people who are not being conservative with their drive impact, you can counter theirs, right, and steal the damage that they tried to take from you. So the opportunity to use it will still be there, but you'll be using it defensively, and continuing to land the damage and the drive impact combos or such. But that, a good way to practice that is in training mode. If you press simple training settings, you go to like one tab to the left, I think there'll be drive impact practice, and there's a Ryu that moves forward and back, and then you can basically like learn how to press your drive impact button right after you see Ryu start to do his, So a little bit less DI and a little bit of how to prep on seeing it and then countering it, I think is going to go a long way. Spinning knuckle through fireballs is good.
Yes,
that's a nice answer, and a good way to deal with zoning as well. Let's check out the Manon set.
Yeah, spinning knuckle through fireball is good.
Hooligan setups are a nice part of her game as well. They're kind of like drive impact in that once you start using them, they might work initially, and you'll be like, "Oh man, this is awesome!" And then you can overdo it. And there's some Cammies out there that basically replace their entire neutral with Hooligan. Don't fall into that trap, but definitely do use it sometimes, especially with the fast fall, which you did. He did do a fast fall at a point, right?
Work on your combo damage. For example, if you do like any medium attack to drive rush cancel, you can do a standing medium punch, crouching heavy punch, crouching medium punch as a combo into drill. You can also do
the is it heavy punch, heavy kick, drill? Is that the target combo maybe I'm thinking of, where she does
standing heavy punch, standing high kick into
1-2 drill
strike, but that's
it's not real, but
not
it will
real. There's a gap, and
it's punishable.
Like 3 more rounds that I was going to say,
but where we're at that string will also be nice for you. It will kind of put some pressure on. It's not
the string that Wooly's talking about is standing high punch, standing high kick, and Cammy will do a high punch, go airborne with a kick, and then you can do a dive after that. But you can jab out of it. You can jab Cammy out of the dive attempt if she does that.
Yeah.
So this string that Wooly is doing is high punch, high kick, cannon strike, but your opponent can push jab before the cannon strike.
Now, if they know,
they're gonna stuff you. But if they don't, you can run away with it.
Yeah, if they are aware of it, so he's gonna block twice.
Okay.
Right?
See, so this is stuff.
If they know about this, that's how you stop it. A lot of people do not know that.
Yeah.
And at Platinum 1,
Gold, Platinum
around
1,
this area, you can probably get away with using this a little bit, right? The nice thing about it, too, is it leaves you at 0, which means anything goes right after this. So the risk is essentially back to neutral, and well, not that one. That's bad. But after this, you're able to just go for a throw if you're feeling sneaky.
It would lose to a jab, though.
It would lose to a jab. If you're of course 0, you can do 1, 2, and then you can throw your 4-frame jab out as well.
It's gonna trade.
Yeah. So this is a nice little thing that's in there. But once you see, if you do it once, and you see that jab come out, right? If you do this, okay, that means they're looking for it. They know that they know, and then you can put that back in your pocket, right? Little things like that.
Oh, wow! Out of range. Unfortunate. I'm sorry for you, Don Pedro.
And that's 4. Ooh, yeah.
Oh, Manon's scary.
DI on Manon's wake up is not a bad idea in a lot of cases, but if she ain't doing anything.
Yeah, we're out of the corner.
Oh.
Okay.
Back against the wall. Yeah.
Got her. What are you gonna do? Oh. Again, see those punishes.
Yeah.
You're gonna need to.
Oh,
find a way to.
She got out of burnout just before she hit the wall there. That's happened a couple times, and you get robbed. That feels really bad.
See, right there, you had like a huge opportunity. You got a hit, and there was nothing.
I'm curious to see the rest of the set. Playing against Manon means you have to like know when she's coming at you with the button, and you gotta kind of pace it out. But those opportunities, like we talked about, you know, as long as you capitalize on those.
See, like that was very negative, and you did the sweep. That's good.
Okay,
hey, that's a combo.
There we go. Almost burnt out. Very nice.
All right, you got 5 drives here.
Oh, a drive rush right there, right?
To punish.
A drive rush right here. Now she has to spend it.
And that Manon was ready for your drive.
But didn't get burnt out as a result.
Whoa, baby! She was not close.
Nowhere near.
She didn't have time to ring the doorbell.
Yeah.
Oh. See there, you're looking for something on the ground.
Yeah.
Short is not going to cut it. So there, if you're going to go for 1 crouch short, there's no point in doing 2, really, unless you have a plan. Do crouch short, crouch jab, crouch jab is a stand jab, and then stand light kick even after.
There's an overall note about patience that would apply. I'm looking at the inputs a little bit. Yeah, there's some situations where you're afraid to. Yeah, there's a lot of reasons to be afraid, but there's a lot of reasons to be afraid. but trying to win every time you wake up is going to roll the dice against the dealer, and the house always wins, right? Like, you're not going to win the odds on that unless you know that you got a read on them. Sometimes waking up and just blocking, right? Just waiting to see what's going to happen is very crucial, because this Manon is hanging back. This Manon is not even pressuring you that aggressively on wake up.
I mean, she's coming.
She's coming in, but there's a couple situations where a reversal...
I feel like the reversals came when Manon was too far to do anything, which is concerning.
That's kind of what I'm getting at, is like because there's an overall fear of like waking up and getting getting re-pressured, right?
Okay, tick throw.
Okay,
another tick throw.
Okay.
Hey, you got that one.
Yeah. OD to the corner, pretty scary. It happens. OD hooligan there, probably not intended, but there you go.
When you're pushing buttons, when you're getting pressured, like 3 times crouching short, that's nothing. That's never gonna lead you into anything, right? Think of a punish situation. Are you gonna do 3 times crouching short? Probably not. So go in training mode and get used to like, okay, if I push that button, what am I looking for? If I'm doing crouch short, do stand jab or crouch after it, because you want a combo. You want to convert off of the moments where you push the button.
I can answer that as a panic
masher.
jabber.
Yeah.
I can answer that question, right? And it's a habit that I'm controlling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's one that I like. The road to improving means being a lot more deliberate about it. But like, the thought is simply this: I don't want to eat whatever they're about to do. Maybe my fastest button will interrupt it and we can get back to neutral instead of me being at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's the
beginning.
That's
the thought process.
and end of the thought, right?
Yeah.
And it is. And here's the thing: when it works, it gets you out of trouble, and you become reliant on it in a way that as you fight people who are more patient, it stops working, right?
If you're gonna commit to like, I'm gonna push a button, then you must be ready to convert off of the hits.
Yeah, so I'm doing jab, 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 uppercut with Luke, or jab, 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 up, down with Marissa. And then I'm turning it into an opportunity to drive rush in, and now I take the offense.
Yes.
So, like, there are times when throwing that jab out, yes, I meant to pick this one. There are times when throwing that jab out is, like, a call that works, but once it lands, you want to have something at the end of it, admittedly.
Yes.
That's part of it too.
Going back to when he was doing like crouching light kick.
Yeah, into
like
nothing.
It's to nothing. And there's no cancel of a crouching light kick, which is what I'm saying. You should throw that string in the garbage and go like crouching light kick into a jab at least. See if both hit and then follow through.
Right. Now, what you're skipping past there is learning to hit confirm crouching light kick into crouching jab, and then like being able to stop, right, is a skill you have to develop.
Yes, that's why I said it comes with experience 5 minutes ago
when
I started the line.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm not.
You were already doing it with crouching heavy punch into crouching medium punch. That's a hit confirm. At some point, you're going to be like able to do it with all your buttons. And once you get even better than that, you're going to be able to look for counter hits, but that's way further down the line. Don't worry about it.
So in summary on this point, I think...
Your normal hits, if you're doing a string, you should be ready to convert.
Be ready to convert it. Have a conversion combo. If you do it on block, it's bad, obviously, but have that. And in some cases, wake up and just block. Don't always go for it. Be wary of burning yourself out when you have very little drive left and you go for something. It happened, I think, a little bit earlier as well. I wanted to mention it. If they're burnt out and you're not, like, you've got that against them, you know? Putting yourself in burnout when they're about to come out of burnout is really bad.
Hey. Okay. You got the hit. There you go. Hit confirm. Excellent. Good pressure on that perfect roam.
Walking in. Not giving them a chance.
So that crouching fierce is good because on block you recover faster than them, and on hit you can combo off of it. Again, that's sweep. No reason to do that really.
I fucking, for a second though, that is a great range to use that button from. That's nicely spaced, but what comes next is very DI-able.
Yeah, you're gonna get punished on block very hard. Not even a DI necessary there.
So like
the sweeps. With
two
any
big,
character.
yeah. So that was two big risky buttons, and like the second one blew you up, but the first one was
Ooh,
you know.
she was ready. Fantastic.
And we're at 5.
Oh!
And yeah.
Okay, now what did you do on the punish there? Raw super into level 3. We take those.
Oh, burnout.
That's good burnout.
Good burnout.
All right.
Yep, nothing fancy. Just burn out your opponent.
Uh-oh.
And yeah.
Still in the air. We're living. And she's in burnout. Crouching short, crouching short.
But level 5.
See again, crouching light kick, crouching light kick. Why? Why? Like at high level, maybe someone might do crouching light kick and try to bait a walk back or a button and delay it again. But if you're not doing that, then there's no reason to. You can do crouching light kick into a jab and get that damage, get that pressure going. And Cammy, most characters can do 3 lights. So Cammy, you can do crouching light kick, standing light punch, standing light kick.
Yeah, right there. It's after this.
Yeah. So it's a fast attack, yes, but you get no pressure, and you're negative on block.
Right, and so what would have happened if you had like Cannon Spike right at the end of that, right? It wouldn't have won the match, but it would have been enough to like get the knockdown. You know that there's nothing Manon can do because she's at 0 bar, she's in burnout, you have meter, you know, like you could have. That probably would have been the deciding factor in the very close game right there.
So yeah, gameplay wise, I'd say be careful of your drive impacts. You're throwing them a lot. Be careful of the sweep and the crouching light kick strings that don't lead to anything. And stuff to implement, I would check what you can do after your light attacks. You can do a light punch linked into a light kick into drill, for example. And right now, remember when you were playing against the Ryu and I was saying, observe the Ryu, look at what he's doing. Right now, I'm looking at your Cammy, and when you're in neutral, going left, right, and looking at what I'm doing, you'll do high kick, drive impact, or jump in. So you need something more in the mid-range. Like your crouching medium kick into drive rush cancel, that would be good. Because you've done some drive rush cancels already.
Now, if the opponent is not picking up on these things, of course, like it's they have their habits of their own. Ooh, this should be it.
Step kick, level 2.
Yeah, we know the deal. Big plus.
What are you trying to do? What are you trying to do, my friend?
You got the life
Are you
lead.
trying to super?
Afraid of that goddess of the hut.
Super?
Afraid of that goddess of the hut.
Oh, and now.
Oh,
now
God.
Now you chilled?
Because of the super reaction?
Oh,
no. Okay,
so
just take it.
lucky.
Yeah.
So lucky.
You think it was pumping for a super?
I think he was pumping for the last like 20 seconds. He was waiting. And look at how much life he lost.
Yeah,
okay.
massive life lead. One reaction super.
Don Steeler crosses back to the other side.
Yeah.
And right there. And then the block.
Let's look.
Back up.
Let's
and
look.
then...
Pumping. Down back.
No,
down back.
Yet,
No.
Not yet. Right here.
Right here.
Begins.
Pumping for the super.
Then it begins.
Pumping for the super.
Okay.
Looking for it.
Block, and then gets tagged by the quadriga.
Maybe.
Corner,
No.
And then time to block.
Yeah. Right.
And now you're scared.
Yeah, and so like that opportunity for the super.
I'm gonna super. Oh, I'm in the corner.
In the corner.
Oh!
Yeah.
Careful.
Yeah. Gotta be careful. Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, after watching these tapes, if you ever decide to watch your own tapes after, I would say, when I land a hit, did I convert? And could I have done something better there? I think those are 2 good questions to ask yourself to see like how many times you land a hit. Because you hit them many times. Many times. But very often it was like 1 hit, nothing. 2 hits, nothing. Or like big drive impact, punish, sweep. Get something a bit more there.
Yeah, so that's definitely it. And again, as somebody who had that problem for quite a while and still do sometimes. Like I still have that problem when I land a drive impact, but she's not point blank. I'm like, fuck, do I have time to walk forward? And I already fucked up, you know? Pick your bread and butter that you want to do after a drive impact, and just someone suggested, right? Crouching fierce, crouching medium punch into heavy drill. Yeah. More damage, easier to do. And if you have level 3, you can go right into it. Just do that, right? You don't have to do the fancier version that you might drop or so. You can keep it real simple on those situations. You can recycle that for after blocking a Shoryuken. You can recycle that for a lot of opportunities that are like, oh, I didn't expect this to happen. Let me just take the opportunity. That's it. But you definitely want to take that and have that ready to go in training mode. You need the OD spiral arrow to go into the level 3. Okay, well there it is. You can definitely do like something that comes later too, as well as like in a punish counter, you can do better and fancier things.
Strike. Heavy spiral arrow should be able to be cancelable into level 3.
Every special move can cancel into level 3s. OD moves cancel into level 2s.
Level 2 and 3.
But I don't play Cammy, so I'm just taking what someone said there.
I'm saying, like, if you're doing like heavy drill up close, you should be able to do level 3.
Heavy spiral cancel into level 3. Okay, yeah, all right. You know what? I need to not just take. You're correct. Thank you.
What I tell you?
Thank you.
What I tell you? Like,
yes, I don't play the character, but you can cancel just about anything into a level.
This is a really good exercise that we did today, actually, looking at footage, because like now I know, like, I want to give information, but like I know what I want to give for information. It's good to like look at the level of the player and be like, all right, you're doing this. Try this.
If you have the bar, why not just OD? Because ODing might burn you out. ODing might put you in a post super situation if it's not for the kill, where you have less drive than them, or if you're trying to deplete their drive and keep them in burnout while you have the drive to pressure them on the wall or do something, you might want to hold on to it. So if it's for the kill, spend every resource you have. But if it's not, you might want to hold on to some drive, because drive is a precious resource. So yeah, that's exactly it.
It's a good exercise that we did today. Like I know, like if I was going like fully through it without like inhibition, I would be like, try doing this. Why do you do this? And what can other people do against that to beat this option? Yeah. And I think it's a good way to like go into training mode. And,
definitely. Yeah. And if you are, again, if you're looking to improve, you know, like stacking some stuff on your plate for homework is what you're looking for. So like, you know, we're not afraid to, I think,
give yourself quests.
Put some quests on the table. But I also want to remember like where you're at in skill right now and where I'm at, and you know, respectively and stuff. Like there's taller mountains to climb that like might take a while. For example, to go back to it, the hit confirming, right, is a very hard skill that takes time.
Yeah.
It is not something you pick up after 1 or 2 games or even training mode sessions of working on it. There's a training mode option for it, certainly, but I don't hear that advice lightly, you know? When it's like, learn how to see that you've hit the opponent within 2 jabs and then make sure you have the punish afterwards. That's what good players get really good at doing. So that takes a little bit longer. Don't feel like you're not able to do anything until you have something like that ready to go. But once you do have it, it's an excellent card to have under your belt. So yeah, I guess in summary then, take it easy on the drive impacts, and in counter, make sure you have your counter drive impact ready to answer theirs if they're not taking it easy. Don't burn yourself out if you can avoid it. Sometimes it's a desperate situation where I'll burn myself out because I'm like, I have to get in on JP and I have to stay here. It's worth it, you know, because I'm Marissa and I'm just going to because I know this matchup and I know the risks and I know that I have to like take out every chance I can. But like in most cases, choosing to burn yourself out is bad. And if you're burning yourself out while they're already burnt out and about to get theirs back, it's even worse because now you're burnt out at the beginning and they're fully in, you know, and they're ready to go. So there's choice moments that are very difficult there. Walking forward
that's an aggressive action.
Is aggressive, exactly. Walking forward is an offensive action in fighting games, because you're claiming space for yourself. There's a long conversation that can be had about what walking forward means in general, but it's an answer to a rock paper scissors game that is being played in footsies, you know. But essentially, if someone is willing to walk back and give you space, there's no reason to not take it. And then the more space you take, the more desperate you know they're going to be to jump out or to do something to get out. And the more desperate they are, the more you can predict their actions. The more you can predict their actions, the more you have a counter ready to go, and thus you can, you know, steal the entire round if they never get out of that corner, right? So, in the corner in this game is more brutal than it's ever been. So, like, definitely don't let somebody just walk back the whole screen and then walk back into the middle without taking some of that ground for yourself.
Yep.
Hope that helps. Both of these are sold out, but you can still go to the website and see what else they've got there for you. So Junk Food Arcade sponsoring all of our Street Fighter 6 content. They're sponsoring World Tour. They're sponsoring the drive sessions. They're sponsoring all this stuff we've been doing, and it's been a fucking thrill and a blast, you know. So lots of other stuff restocking on Friday. Awesome, including their new they got some options for you guys in terms of stick control as well. There's different stuff that
they're working on stuff too. Yeah.
They got some projects. So yeah, keep an eye on Junk Food, man. Good peeps, you know. I met him, had some conversations, and overall I was impressed with the quality and the character. So